Hello guys, welcome back. Merlin here, and I want to thank my two newest subscribers, along with all my viewers for your continued support of the channel. Now let's get into it, and today we're going to be using a very different deck, one I've been kind of trying to figure out here. We have the Izzet Storm Control. Now I built this deck to make use of a couple of different cards. We have Storm Conduit. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, Ral Storm Conduit deals 1 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. His Neg 2 ability, whenever you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for it. Now that's not bad on its own, but if you combo it with Thousand Year Storm, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it for each other instant and sorcery spell you've cast before it this turn. You may choose new copies or new targets for the copies. So let's say I play 3 ops in a turn. After the first, it would copy the second opt, and then when I went on the second or third one, it would copy that. Now with shock, the same principle would apply. Play the first shock. After I play the second shock, I get 2 shocks. Play the third shock, I get 3 shocks. Play the fourth, I get 4 shocks. Or it could be Jaya's Greeting, or even Risk Factor. So I decided to try and kind of play off from those 2 combos. I have 1,000 Year Storm just because its mana cost is pretty substantial. Ral Storm Conduit, not bad. He costs 2 less than 1,000 Year Storm, so he costs 4. 1,000 Year Storm costs 6. I'm also running Niv Mizzet Perun. I don't have a lot of draw cards in the deck. I mean, I have Opt. I have Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. I'm also using Crackling Drake, so I guess the draw isn't too bad. It's not where I would like it to be. But with that being said, we're actually going to also... There it is. Export that for later use. Okay. So we're going to take my 1,000 Year Storm out for a test run. Now, I built the deck kind of as a form of control. I mean, it says Izzet Storm Control. My version of control, because there are several ways you can take control. You can take control, and we're going to keep this. You can take control in the form of keeping your opponent's monsters off the field by killing them off with shocks, Skewer the Critics, anything you can do to kind of burn them off or return them to your opponent's hand. And I'll go ahead and resolve that. Or you can take it in the form of countering their creatures or countering every spell they play. All of these things lead up to the term control. Or you can just take plain control of the board state, like summoning creatures like Lightning Stormkin, and summoning a shit ton of them, finding ways to make duplicates of this 2/2 haste for 2. And he's also a flyer, so if you could get like 4 or 5 of him out, you will undoubtedly control the board, and if you do it fairly early, you'll control the board for a decent amount of time. Let's see, so we're going to drop the island. We're going to summon the Wee Dragonauts. I chose to kind of control the board state as far as a lot of flyers, so that I have unfeathered access to my opponent's life points, as well as burn spells to kill creatures. Plus, my Wee Dragonaut gets one hell of a bustier when I play instants and sorceries, which is why she burned him off. So, we're going to drop Storm Vent. We're going to pay the 2 life. And we're going to ding. We're going to shock. Shock. Skewer the Critics. And just like that, I did 7 points of damage, plus the 2 I hit him with, so 9 damage one turn. Okay. So looks like I'm going to have to now contend with that. We're going to summon Ral, Storm Conduit.
If you can beat me,
and
you're welcome to try.
We're going to use his Scry ability.
You can bury your crimes, but your past always
I don't want that card. So I am not going to swing against Bloodthirsty Aerialist. But because he has Sorin, he can just +1/+1er, and that's going to kill off my Lightning Storm. Or he just killed off my Ral, which I guess works just the same. Thankfully, though, he's down to 6 life.
Our fiends thirst for life.
We'll block. Oh, because I got Death Touch because of him. Good lord, I didn't think I had 2 of them entering in together. Now, like I said, this deck still requires some fine-tuning. I feel like the land count is too high, but I've always been told that if you run a deck with, say, I want to say, yeah, okay. I'm going to concede this match. I was always told if you run a deck that consists mainly of counter spells, burn spells, any type of spells, that is your bread and butter, you always run heavy on the land. Well, as we can see from this one, I am running, let's see, 18, 22, and 23. Okay, so we're going to take out, that would drop us down to 21. We're going to go down 1 more mountain. Okay. So that's 11, 12, 20 on the button. That gives me room for 3 cards. And I do have counter spells in here. I have Ionize. Well, I have counter spell in here. Okay, so we're also going to run, let's see, not negate. Not really quench either. Quench is just, no. Not Wall of Mist. We're going to run 3 Didn't Say Please. Now, I would love to build a deck out of Eyes Everywhere. If you pay 6 mana, 1 blue, 5 colorless, exchange control of Eyes Everywhere and target non-land permanent. Activate this ability only anytime you can cast a sorcery. So that's not too bad. Okay. So, we've lowered the land count. We're going to take it back. Now, I hear a lot of people singing the praise of Fabled Passage, or that land from Throne of Eldraine. I mean, it's kind of hard for me to get into the land card, because it kind of reminds me of Evolving Wilds. You play it, you trade it, and you can go fishing for a certain land you would like to have. And that is beautiful right there. So we're going to keep that. And we're going to send away Skewer the Critics. Yeah. So, we're going to Island, Opt, Scry 1, draw into a mountain, no thanks. Watch. Yep, okay, I can work with that. But, I mean, I hear a lot of people singing the praise of that card, and since I only have 1, I can't really sing yay or nay of it. We're going to drop Lightning Stormkin. So that's why you don't see my deck using Fabled Passage. I only have the 1. I don't have the rare wild cards to get the other 3 I'm missing. So I just kind of stick to my basic lands. I really should get more Temples of Epiphany. Or I should get just kind of a better source of land, I guess, more or less. Okay, so we're going to risk factor. We're going to see if he's willing to take the 4 damage. Now, risk factor is a beautiful card. It gives me the chance to deal 4 damage to my opponent. And on my next turn, I can do it all over again. Just simply due to the fact that my opponent has the choice. Let me draw 3 cards or take 4 points of damage. Okay, that's gonna be an issue. And I'm gonna take 2 to the face. Okay, so we're gonna cast Opt. Draw into an Opt, sure. And since he's tapped out... Now, the other thing most Magic players overlook is... I was always taught when I started playing way back when Planeswalkers were kind of a thing. They were just starting to come into their own. But Planeswalkers are big meat shields. That's basically the extent of what they are. You play a Planeswalker and your opponent's going to sit there and go, I got to get that and I got to get it now. You know, because Planeswalkers, the longer they stick around, the deadlier they become, and the more their abilities have time to stack up and do some serious damage. And that's how I was always trained. And I kind of figure that most players who started when I did kind of all have the same mentality. Planeswalker, gotta eliminate the Planeswalker. Okay, so we're gonna Opt. And... Sure. We'll draw into an island. I haven't played my land for turn. And we're going to save Jaya's Greeting. I mean, it's an instant, which you gotta love. Most of these 3 damage spells are kind of sorceries. And I have nothing I'm willing to discard, so sure, go ahead. Okay, she's going to summon big creatures. We're going to burn that off. I draw into a Jaya's Greeting, sure. I kind of love the card that draws into its own, you know, draws into a card. Now with an enchantment like that in play, I'm going to kind of have to start, for lack of a better word, debating on what or more or less more controlling what I allow to come through to me. Especially since her 1/1s can trigger Cavalcade. Sure, come on through. We're going to burn off the Phoenix. There we go. That's something I can play with. Wee Dragonauts. That gives me some kind of defense against these guys. Now I'm about to take 4 damage. Ding, ding. Okay. Now, like I said, this deck is very much so not quite finished yet, obviously. I haven't gotten all the bugs or kinks out of it. It's going to take me some kind of tweaks and tools, and I figure the best way to test a deck is to play it in ranked. Sure, your ranking will take a hit. That's always very true. But at the same time, at least you know if it'll actually stand up to a ranked ladder. And looks like he killed off that, so I'm going to play this. We're going to get rid of a Crackling Drake. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, take your 4 damage. I'm going to concede, because there's nothing I can do. That time I got kind of mana, well, not mana flooded, but I got mana, but just not the colors I needed. So that being said, like I said, the deck really needs some tooling. It uses Izzet Burn, but I don't see him enough to really validate him even being in the deck. He's more of a big meat shield. Okay. Now we have Cosmina, the Enigmatic Mentor. Create a 2/2 blue wizard creature token, draw a card, and discard a card. That really won't help. I didn't really cast enough blue spells or anything really to validate having her. I don't use Caller of Storms, so that's not going to help. If at least 3 blue mana was spent to cast the spell, scry 3. And that's Unexplained Vision. No thanks. I'm kind of trying to find cards to help me kind of dominate the board, in a pretty constructive way. But now I would be running this, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I mean, I cast a lot of instants and sorceries. It's a 0/4 blocker. And that's about the extent of what it would be useful for, is blocking and its ability to deal 1 point of damage to each opponent every time I cast an instant or sorcery. So, that being said, I do have the 2 Chandra. I have risk factor. I think I'm going to... We're going to take out Izzet Burn. And... They get buffed by instant sorcery, so they need to stay. So do they. And we're going to give up those quick hits for 4 Electrostatic Fields and... Let's see. Ooh. Chandra Spitfire probably wouldn't be such a bad idea. Your opponent can't gain life. Yeah, we're going to run 1 Tibalt, Rakish Instigator. Just because I have run into some white, mostly kind of white-black decks that run, I think it's Appreciative Spectre or some kind of white card that... No, it's Charming Princess or something. I don't know. This card gives you +1 life every time a white creature of yours attacks. I think it's Charming Queen or something. I don't really have a name for her. And a lot of people back home watch this like, you don't know her name? Yeah, I don't know her name. I don't pay attention to that. I pay attention to the fact that she's gaining life faster than I can milk it down. Okay, so with a hand like this, only 1 card's playable. We're going to mulligan down. That's doable. And we're going to send away Thousand Storm to the bottom of the deck, so I won't see that combo this turn. Or, well, this game. So let's see here. Okay, so he's going to summon our Boreal Grazer. When it enters the battlefield, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. Sure. I'm sure you got extra land to do it. Okay, so we're reversing a Gruul color deck. And again, pass the turn. Now we have Shock to kill something weak, and we have Jaya's Greeting to blow up something like that. And that is a wicked-ass looking fox. Okay. So we're going to blow that up. We would draw into Crackling Drake, which no. Okay, he just said good game. I'm not sure why he's good gaming me, but sure. Pass the turn. Okay, so... yeah, you have protection from blue, but... we're gonna get opt. We're gonna kill that off. Now, I'll admit that was a play mistake. I should have sent that away, because I'm kind of trying to fish for my blue mana. I have all the red mana in the world, and that's not my problem. Now I have no islands, because now I have to deal with something like that, which I could have countered had I had the blue mana. But I do have Chandra's Acolyte.
Say hi to my fiery friends.
Everybody attacks, everybody gets blocked. Come on, block, block. Go ahead. I do know a burn spell I need. I need that Lava Lash spell. Okay, so now I have a 2/3 to deal with. Yeah, go ahead and take her out. Okay. Ah, shit. Alright. I'm going to concede this match. So clearly this deck kind of has a little bit of problem getting off the ground again. So we're actually going to go back. I don't want the blue, I just want the red. There's a spell that costs 2 mana. There we go, Lava Coil. Deals 4 damage to target creature. If that creature would die, exile it instead. So, we're going to get rid of Didn't Say Please. And we're going to run 3 Lava Coil. Okay, so we're going 3 Lava Coil. Okay. So I'm kind of turning this into a burn control deck. That's basically how this deck is kind of fanning out. With each match I play, I see what I could really use at a certain point and what I have. I mean, Jaya's Greeting, you know, kick-ass. Love the card. But I need something that'll allow me to, for lack of a better word... Okay, well, that wasn't even a fair test. So we're going to nix that victory. I would honestly say I wouldn't even count that victory, but I will take the free XP and shit. You know, free XP, free gold, sure. So we're going to do one more match. And if any of you guys see cards or can think of cards that you think would help improve this deck to help it reach, you know, maximum kick-assery, let me know in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to hit like on the video, help support the channel. Hit subscribe, the big red button below, and we're going to keep this, along with the notification bell to stay current when I go live. Okay, so we're going to start off with Temple of Epiphany, and we would draw into Jaya's Greeting, which, you know, hell yeah. Okay, so we have Goblin Banneray, which is a mentor card. And I really don't want that sticking around. Especially since I can't summon anything to, you know, kill it. Yeah, we're going to keep Skewer the Critics. And I love my Skewer the Critics artwork. You know, just looks kick-ass. Okay, here comes Fabled Passage. Thankfully, though, he can only search for basic land. So that helps a great bunch there. Alright, so... actually, we're going to play Mountain. And we're going to drop Chandra.
Won't lie, I'm a pretty great player.
And we're going to create 2 1/1s. Swing, swing, pass the turn. Now, funnily enough, if I'd had the 2 red mana available, I could have skewered. Kranko Tin Street Kingpin. Thought he used to be the street mob. But then again, I might be wrong there. Okay, so we're going to island. And we're going to use her plus abilities.
Don't worry, I brought company.
And I'm going to summon this to give me some kind of defense in case the need arises. He's going to block one. Whenever it attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Then create a number of 1/1 goblins equal to the counters on it. Yeah, I'm not letting that stick around. I will gladly pay 3 damage on a 1/1 to kill it. It was originally a 1/2, but it blocked 1, so there you go. Okay, so he's tapped out. He's probably going to Fabled Passage, which means it comes into play untapped because it's the end of his turn. Jace Wielder. Let's see. I want to cast this. Okay, now it doesn't matter when I cast it. Okay, so we're going to opt. There we go. Perfect. So we're going to summon Electrostatic Field. And
Say hi to my fiery friends.
swing, swing. He's going to take 3 damage from that, and then 1 more damage from Electrostatic Field. And that is how I want the deck to work. Burn Control. I was able to keep some of his creatures off the field, like Goblin Banneret and Kranko. He obviously, you know, lava coiled my one dude, but that's okay. Alright, so we're going to drop Jace.
Manipulation of the mind.
We're going to do his +1, and we're going to aim it at him. And we hit his land. There's my land. Alright. And we're going to swing with 2 little guys. Okay, so he has Icon of Ancestry. The key to any mono race or mono class deck. If you're running, say, goblins, you pick goblins. If you're running warrior type monsters or knights, you pick knights. Or if they're all of the same race, you pick that race, like human. Just for the shits and the giggles. Okay, so now he's going to pick goblins, which means it's a 4/3 or 5/3 now. And yeah, he's going to take out Chandra, but I will throw Electrostatic Field in front of that each and every day. Okay. So we're going to use Chandra's -2 ability and grab Jaya's Greeting. Yes, Jaya's Greeting. And we're going to auto-pay that cost.
I like to
We're
think on
gonna,
my feet.
yeah, we're going to burn his ass away. I'm not sure what he's waiting on because it's already, you know. Okay, he's going to tap it out. She's gone. Alright, so we're going to use his ability. Get rid of 2 more. I get to draw a card. I'm going to drop Tibalt. This way he can't gain any life.
Don't look scared. I can fix that.
And I'm going to -2 him so I can get a 1/1 out.
Painfully sloppy.
Anything that I can put between him and my Planeswalkers is well worth it. Especially something like that. So I have him at 10 life. And I just need... No. Nope, no, no, no. Block, please. I'm going to ding him for 1. Perfect. That'll work. Crackling Drake into play. Wee Dragonauts into play. I have a 1/1 now. I'm going to use his +1 ability. He's going to mill 2. I drew into a shock, which will help later. And, oh, I hit Grum Gully the Generous. And another Goblin Banneret. Alright, so I end the turn. These two actually combo pretty nicely off each other. This guy gives me something to block with. This guy's milling. And if he does attack, I can shock it. Okay, so I am going to shock it. My Wee Dragonauts is going to gain. He's going to Ember Cleave it. Come on. And I want that thing gone. So he's going to run into Wee Dragonaut. I'm going to take some damage, not as much as I would have. Okay. So it had first strike, which was enough to kill. Alright. Alright. So we're going to mill him again.
It's a matter of
And then I draw my card. We're going to get 1,000-Year Storm going. And how many cards do I have left in it? 38? Okay. They're all going to go after him. He's going to block the 1. And I'm going to deal 1 point of damage there. Unfortunately, though, he has enough to do lethal damage, but I think I'm getting the deck to where I want it to be, because this is the closest I've gotten to actually just full-on burn control state, is what I want to say. And I'll give it to him. Hey, GG, dude. GD, or GG, because he earned that one. I mean, I've not seen a Goblin deck run that efficiently in a long time. But hey, worked really well. I liked my deck. My deck kind of fluttered out after a while, but still, it did the job. And with that being said, guys, this is where I'll end the stream. If you guys like the videos I'm doing, please hit the subscribe button below, big red button below. Hit the bell notification button next to it so you can be up to date when I go live. Also, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you see any cards or any play mistakes I'm making, please let me know. It helps the video to flow more fluidly if I'm not making any play mistakes, plus makes the video look, a lot better, and it's more entertaining for you guys. I welcome all criticism for any play mistakes you think I'm making. Also, if you guys can think of any cards that you would like to see maybe tested out in the deck, give me a shout out in the comment section below. And with that, guys, have a good evening, and I'll see you guys on the next stream.